Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be Sex Playmates. Well, I've got a good email here from a viewer who originally found out about my work because he was trying to get back his ex of 5 years. And he shares some of the experiences and the successes that he's had since then. And one of the things he notes is that when he first started following me, he thought, oh, this guy Corey, he's fucking full of shit. He's a total fucking fraud. But like I always say, even if you think I'm a jerk off and I'm talking out my ass, if you just apply the things that I teach, you'll see that it works for you. As a matter of fact, along those lines, I got a great quote from the Buddha about this. And he said, "Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. Do not believe in anything simply because it's spoken and rumored by many. Do not believe in anything simply because it is found written in your religious books. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders. Do not believe in traditions because they have been handed down for many generations. But after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it." Fucking love that quote. So along those lines, I have a quote that I wrote regarding the topic or the piece of wisdom I want to share in this email that we're going to go through. And the quote says, "All men and women should play the field and date a lot of different people to determine what they really want and what's most important to them before getting into a long-term relationship. When you're young and inexperienced, you don't know what you don't know. By having multiple romantic options and experiencing several different partners before you get into a long-term relationship, you won't find yourself thinking that the grass is greener on the other side or that somehow single people have it better. By learning to allow lovers and sex playmates to come and go as they please in your life, you will create a space for the right person to come and stay in your life for the right reasons. Once you have played the field, then you will be in a better position emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically to focus 100% on loving, giving to, and being authentically present with your relationship partner once you choose one to be exclusive with." That's definitely something to think about. So let's get into his email. He says, "Hey Corey, after a 5-year relationship ended this summer, I stumbled across your work. I started watching your videos and reading your book. In the beginning, I remember thinking that you somehow were a fraud, but now I know better. When I first contacted you, it was to try and get my ex back. At that point in time, I had yet to realize how many things I had done wrong in the relationship causing my ex's attraction to drop. I followed up with a coaching call with you, which made the obvious even clearer." Yeah, a lot of the phone sessions I do with guys and girls, it's just they want me to listen to their whole story and critique and give some feedback so they can learn from it. And obviously, a lot of times they're looking just for confirmation that they made the right decision, or at least what they thought happened is what really happened. At the end of our session, you gave me some tips on how to move onward about approaching new girls. Being in a relationship during most of my 20s meant that at this stage, I was a bit rusty. So the interesting thing is, through his 20s, he was with this girl for 5 years, and there was another relationship he was in. So basically, he was with 2 women all throughout his 20s, and so he never really kind of played the field. I deal with a lot of guys that are older, that are 50s, 60s, even 70s, who've been in a relationship for 25, 30 years or longer, or they were with the same person when they were teenagers, and they really never dated around. So they were only with one person sexually their whole life. And so now that they're older, like, hey, now I'm single, now I'm free, I had this loveless, sexist relationship for a decade or more, I want to experience humanity. I want to see what it's like out there. Because some women are great in bed. Some women are great snake charmers. They grab a hold of your cock and they just know how to touch it and suck it in the right way. That just goes boom. It blows up like a balloon instantly. And there's other women that'll grab your dick and it's like they're grabbing onto a fucking garden hose and jerking on it. And they don't have any sensory acuity of what to do. And no matter what they do, they can't get it hard. And then you have to get yourself hard. And there's some women that are great in bed. They're really comfortable with their bodies and they know how to fuck. And they can fuck you and get you hard instantly. And there are other women that just have no sensory acuity in their bodies. They're not comfortable. They're disconnected. And sex with them just ain't very fun. That's why it's important to play the field and see what's out there so you can see what you like and what you don't like. So he says, after this, I continued reading your book and watching your videos. To sum it up, my life has changed. Previously, I had no clue what I was doing. It was so bad that in the 2 relationships I have had so far, the girls made the first moves. Now, I have no problem talking to all sorts of girls, even the really pretty ones. I no longer think of anyone as being too good for me. Fucking right on, dude. That's your birthright. You deserve to have somebody that knocks your fucking socks off. The kind of person, like in this case for a guy, if you're a guy, you're like, oh, God, you fucking take my breath away. To be with a woman who makes you feel like that and to make love to her and kiss every inch of her body and fuck her brains out, it's, oh, God, the first time you experience that, it fucking changes your life forever. Never again will you settle for just average. You get spoiled. It's like, you get used to driving a Ferrari. Why want to go drive a Toyota Camry? I mean, a Camry's nice. It'll get you to where you want to go. But fuck, I want a Lambo. I want a Ferrari. He says it should be up to them to decide. Fast forward to my current problem. This Christmas, I met a girl that I previously would have thought was way out of my league. She was so smoking hot. I started to talk to her. The hours flew by, and suddenly it was about time to leave. The new me then felt that I had a shot, so I decided to go for it. To sum it up, there was not much sleeping that night. See how beautiful that is? He's read my book. He did a phone session with me. He's feeling nervous. He's still going to have those thoughts. I don't know, this girl is kind of out of my league. But he knows, hey, this is the old me talking. I deserve a fucking gorgeous woman like this. And what happens? He just does what he was taught from my book. He ends up seducing this girl. He meets her, he seduces her all in the same day. This is a love story. This is what women read about in their romance novels. It's just a random bumping into a guy, and this guy happens to be prepared with what he's learned from me. And look what happens. He seduces her the same night. A girl knocks his socks off. The kind of girl he'd always dreamed about being with, and boom. It just happens. The following morning, we spent some time talking and making breakfast until we had to leave. I knew she was living in another part of my country, so knowing this, I made contact 2 days later, perhaps a mistake, suggesting we meet up. Hey, you hooked up the first night, dude. If you know she's just in town visiting people and she's going to leave, it's like, why not? He says she then blew me off with an excuse about how she had to meet up with her family, work, and then she would be going back home. So more than likely, she just wanted to hook up and get laid. And you were the first guy she probably ran into in a long time that knew what he was fucking doing. Because he read my book, of course. So you gave her a great experience. You had a great experience. And she went home probably thinking, well, nothing's ever going to come of it because we don't live in the same city. He says, I then replied that she should let me know the next time she came into town so that we can meet up. Perfect. Because he made the effort to make another date, and she's like, So he says, hey, next time you're in town, hit me up and let's get together. That's the proper response. He says she then replied that I should add her on Snapchat. So I did. The question is, what should be my next step? Nothing. You added her on Snapchat. See if she reaches out. If she reaches out, since she's long distance, make a Skype video date. And then invite her to come see you again. When are you going to come visit me? Your family's in town. You should come visit your family and stay with me while you're here. And talk for a while, and if she says, I don't know, I'll think about it, check my schedule, say, great, figure out your schedule and get back to me. And then wait to hear from her again. Because she's long distance, she's not really local, and you notice what happened. You reached out to her, and she's like, So you've added her on Snapchat, wait till she reaches out to you. And then when she does, move it to a Skype video date or FaceTime chat if you got an iPhone. I'm currently talking to the other girls as well, but I want to keep the possibilities open to her as well. Do you see any big mistakes here? Dude, you fucking crushed it. You knocked it out of the park. Good fucking job. You seduced a fucking smoking hot girl. This is what every man dreams of when he starts realizing that he's interested in girls. Meeting a fucking gorgeous woman that takes his breath away and boom, seducing her. Just like you did. That's so fucking awesome, dude. Good for you. What a great experience. When you're 90 years old and you're sitting in your rocking chair, you're going to be thinking about that girl. Oh, that was spectacular. And that could be one of dozens and dozens of memories. He says, anyhow, thanks for sharing your knowledge with us. You've made a big impact in my life so far, knowing I still have much to learn. Dude, that's awesome. Like I said, handle your interaction with her just like I said. Don't do anything. Wait to hear from her. Because like I said, you reached out to make a second date, and she was like, eh. So when you get that kind of a response, you do nothing. Wait to hear from her. And more than likely, at some point in the future, she will get in touch with you. And when she does, like I said, move to a Skype video date. And when you're on the Skype video date, you need to talk about her coming to visit you. I would definitely have her come to visit you first, because she's already, and plus she's got family in town, so she's going to be feeling comfortable there. And then after she comes to visit you once, then you can travel to her city and go see her. Because in this particular case, she's got family in your town, so more than likely she'll be coming back. So, fucking awesome, dude. Great story. Great success. Great job applying what I teach. There's just another guy that came to me, he's like, oh, this fucking Corey guy, he's got to be a jerk-off. He applies it, he gets the results. Pretty simple. Speaks for itself. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I shall talk to you soon.